traditional ethnic clothing is next. In addition to what we've already shown you for Lao, traditional Lao clothing for the Thai Lao people, we're going to move on to the Hmong and Dao, who live predominantly in northwestern Vietnam, but also in China, Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Starting here are the Hmong skirts. These are used by the blue Hmong and some white Hmong also. This is a traditional skirt. You can see it's still pleated together. And this one is made out of hemp that has been village raised. It is wax resist batiqued, indigo dyed, and then appliqued and embroidered, and all of this is done for a woman's skirt. And I can open it up. Well, actually, I'm going to open up a different one for you. This one has the pleats intact. This one, the pleats have been taken out, and you can see how enormous this skirt is. It is about 6 meters of fabric all the way around, and not only is it a fabulous skirt, but a wall hanging. It is stunning as a hanging. It can make a full circle, which is hard for me to show you here, but there are a lot of ways of using this in addition to wearing it as a skirt. Now we also have...
About how much are they, Maren?
Oh, these skirts run anywhere from $120 to $175. Pretty impressive for something that takes about a half a year to create. Nowadays, instead of these traditional clothes made out of hand-spun cotton and hand-embroidered work, many of the Hmong are wearing these. They have the same patterns as what has been traditionally embroidered on Hmong clothing, but the fabric has been pre-printed, acrylic, pre-pleated by the Chinese, and the women will then make their own skirts, wear them, and they're still wearing their own patterns. It is a monumental change, but it is what is going on, and not only that, these are really fun to wear here.
What do they cost?
These cost, they're $25 for women's size and $20 for a little girl size.
Ooh.
Now, back to the traditional clothing. The Black Hmong from northwest Vietnam also, the women anyhow, also wear these jackets. And there's embroidery on the sleeve. The vest is made out of hemp. The jacket is made out of cotton. And one thing I want to point out is this adorable little collar from this little girl's outfit. These collars are what are used to make many of the bags and wallets that we showed you in another video. And so now when you look at this, you get an idea of where those pieces were repurposed and understand that you're actually using somebody's clothing that they made to show off their wonderful skills. So finally, to move on to the men's clothing, the Hmong men's clothing is much plainer, but they do have a little bit of embroidery on the sleeves and down the front jacket. This jacket looks really great on both men and women. Hand-spun cotton, indigo dyed, absolutely gorgeous stuff. So there's the Hmong clothing.
How much do those cost?
This one is $80. They all vary based upon the complexity of the patterning and how much is put on the actual garment itself. They're individually made by the women within a family for their husbands, sons, uncles, whoever it might be they're making it for, and each one is customized for that person. So now we're going to move on to the Red Hmong, the Red Dao. This is a Red Dao man's jacket. This is incredibly fine embroidery that goes onto the sleeves and the back. Give you a chance to get a close-up there.
Takes a sec to focus on some of that.
And a little bit on the front, and these wonderful, what look like little bells, actually are used as the buttons to close the jacket. Again, wonderful on either men or women. This particular one is $110. They go from $75 to $125. Here's another style of Red Dao man's jacket. You can see this one is a lighter blue indigo dye. Still a lovely, fun thing to wear. Look at the detailing on the side. Now, for the Dao women, their pants are heavily embroidered down at the front. Can you see that? Looking down the front of the pants? So this embroidery is in silk, all embroidered on hand-spun cotton, and all of this work is done by the women to show off their skills and to represent their culture. As if this is not enough, the women's jackets are far more ornate than the men's. This particular one has glass beads down the front, embroidery along the front panel, embroidery on the front parts of the jacket. Turn it around. There's that same patch on the back, and then look at this incredible apron. All of this is part of what the Red Dao women use for their self-identity, for their cultural identity, and each of these is hand embroidered on hand-woven cotton. Fabulous work. Finally, one last man's jacket, the plainest of the plain, but really elegant. These are not actually buttons, but decorative going down the front, hand-spun, hand-woven cotton, indigo dyed, custom made for the individual man. But they're worn by men and women. I happen to have one myself.
And if you come to our show online or in person, with safety of course, you will have a choice of all sorts of these things. You can reach us at 541-485-9386.
Or you can email me directly at Maren, M-A-R-E-N, @hilltribeart.com.